So you were 7 years old
Yes.
when you got to Julliard.
Yes, I was.
So how did you meet the piano?
Well, you know, it's interesting about the piano and me and music because people, the answer people want is, when I was 4 years old, I heard, you know, Mozart, and I realized, you know, they're looking for one of those answers.
I was hoping.
Yeah, that didn't happen to me. What happened was my father was a musician. He was from Vienna. We had a piano in the house, okay? I wasn't exactly zooming along at the piano. I was just, you know, a regular kid, you know, doing what I do. And my sister was taking piano lessons, okay? Now, when the teacher left, I would get up on the piano and I could start mimicking what the teacher was teaching my sister, okay? So now, we had a radio that I used to listen to the rock and roll songs, because rock and roll is, you know, that's, you know, when you're 5, 6 years old, do 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 do, good night, sweetheart, well, it's time. These are the important things in life. So I was listening to all that stuff, and there was a program on television that I used to see all the time at night called The Hit Parade, okay, which they used to play the top 5 records of the week.
This is Snooky Lanson?
Snooky Lanson, my bird, by the way, I had a parakeet. We named the parakeet Snooky. So what happened was, my father's asking everybody, my son shows his talent, what should I do, what should I do? And he kept hearing Julliard, Julliard, Julliard. Now, Julliard is really a place for people who love Beethoven and Bach and Schumann and all that, right? So my father takes me to Julliard, and I'm going to take this test to get into Julliard. And I walk into this room. Now remember, these people in the room are people who are the real pedagogues of music. I mean, these are the real folks.
Now you're 7 at this point.
Yeah, I was actually 6½, but I didn't want to push it. I didn't want to have a Peabody person say something wrong. You know what I mean? So what happened is, I walk into the thing and they say, "What are you going to play?" Now they're expecting some of that stuff. I said, "I'm going to play," and the #1 song then was "I'm Yours," which went, "I'm yours, da da da, I'm yours." That was the #1 song. Okay. So I played "I'm Yours," and they're looking at me like, "What is this? This guy is crazy." And they said, "What else are you going to play?" I said, "Well," I said, "now I can play that in any key." Not exactly what they were hoping for, but they knew I was talented because I could do that, right?
Yeah.
So they gave me a chance. They said, "Okay, we'll take you to Julliard and see what happens." And I used Julliard basically as a place to learn how to play the piano and start to really love the music. It didn't happen until I started to really get into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.